It's tough to pay my mortgage with exposure, I'll tell you.
Oh, geez.
I paid mine with exposure once, and the next month they doubled my mortgage. Go figure.
Even tacked on a little extra.
Yeah, even that.
Finding your tribe.
Dun, dun, dun.
How doth one find their fellow peeps?
I was just going to, please say peeps. Please say peeps. Yes. I think there's plenty of ways to, start that conversation at least. Social media has been, especially since 2020, like, oh my goodness, 4 years ago. Because nobody was meeting in person.
Yep.
And that's where I found most of my peeps were online.
I'm not going to lie. That's where I found most of my peeps my entire adult life.
You weren't much for networking groups or anything like that?
No, I don't like people in real life.
Oh, strangers. Stranger danger. They're scary.
Big surprise right there.
Shut up. I'm the
Kind
most
of a loner,
likable,
aren't you?
friendly, outgoing real-life
Lone
person
wolf.
ever.
Just ask no one.
As a longtime BBSer and early internet
Oh
adopter.
my gosh, BBSer.
Yeah,
What
buddy.
is BBS?
Bulletin board systems.
Oh my God.
So it predates the internet. It's how we used to communicate online before everyone was online.
They put the B in the BS.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So between that and like IRC before the web, yeah, that's where some of my oldest friends, other than people that I went to school with, are people I met online.
Wow.
ICQ days.
Oh, sure.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well,
you young people.
I was in New York and we had an actors meetup, which was kind of cool. And that's where I met a bunch of folks because you would see people in the audition room. And if you didn't know other people in the audition room, you kind of felt like, I don't know anybody. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, so good to see you. And I'm like,
Feel like an outsider, a little
Yeah.
intimidated.
a little bit. So connecting with fellow actors that were there. And a lot of us had the same either acting coach or, much like we did, right? The three of us.
Yeah, we all did the same workout.
Yeah. So that was kind of the same premise, to see what people were working on, see if they were working on anything that we could collaborate on
Sure.
as a group. And then in 2020, where everything was just kind of upended, everything went online for me.
Right.
And then I started really finding voiceover groups on Facebook and X/Twitter. I haven't joined Discord. Have you guys done that yet?
Yeah, I don't use it though. I don't like it.
No.
It's a lot more distracting, I find.
Same thing. I've been to it, but I don't get a lot out of it. Some people just love it.
Yeah.
Well, and there's castings that happen there. There's recording that happens there.
Is there really?
Yeah, but
Is anything
it's not for
quality?
me.
Is anything career?
question.
I don't know.
I mean, I've seen a lot of. Here's a role we're casting. It pays $50.
Right.
You know.
Join our Discord
$5
to
a line.
audition.
Yeah.
I'm not going to join your Discord so that I can audition for your fan film.
And that's what a lot of it looks like. Yes.
Yeah. And it's great for somebody who wants experience, somebody who wants to kind of see what's out there. But I think for those of us that are really, trying to book jobs that, other people might see other than
or
someone's grandma.
Pay the mortgage.
Or mortgage.
Actually pay a couple of bills would be great.
Because
$1 a line's not going to do it. Sorry.
Yeah, it's tough to pay my mortgage with exposure, I'll tell you.
Oh, geez. I don't know why.
Mine, if I paid mine with exposure once, and the next month they doubled my mortgage. Go figure.
But
You got that?
I did. I did. Yeah.
Even tacked on a little extra.
Yeah, even that. Well, see, you guys have a little experience. I'm a late bloomer. And so I spent my early part of my day job career doing the networking and doing the industry meet and greets and such.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do anything business-wise. I mean, I didn't start VO until 2017. And then at that point, everything was LinkedIn. Everything was Facebook. So I jumped into there. So you're giving, like you say, BBS?
BBS. Yeah, that's going back to the 80s.
Yes, I 80s. I must have lived through them. I don't remember them, but yeah,
Well, you were playing music then, so
That's
I
true.
was.
you were too cool for BBSs.
I was too cool for school. I was, married.
And then came Craigslist.
Oh,
Another thing.
stop! Don't go there for jobs. But yeah, so I like the fact that there were things available other than face to face, because holy crap, this would be a really hard industry if that's all you had.
Yeah. Well, and especially, when it's not face to face, it can be asynchronous, right? With a face to face meeting, you have to both be there at the same time.
Yes.
But, now that everything's online, yeah, there's still a lot of you got to be in the same Zoom call or whatever. But,
Sure.
email's asynchronous, Slack messages are asynchronous.
Yep.
Discord could be, unless you're doing
even
a
when
voice
we're
chat.
texting, just
Yeah.
us talking about our podcast and topics and things like that, we're using texting. And sometimes we have a thought at 2 a.m. in the morning, and
Yeah.
Some of us more than others.
indeed. And then, it's
And then
it's
I wake
nice.
up the next morning and go, look what I missed.
You guys are blowing
50
up my
texts
phone.
here.
I know. Right? Wait, what time did we say we're meeting? And scroll.
Thank God for Do
Yes.
Not Disturb.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, with this finding your tribe, I mean, it's pretty cool that we were able to meet and from different parts of this big scary world, as opposed to me pulling everyone I know from the huge city of Duluth, Minnesota.
Massive.
It's a metropolis.
Well, compared to Gilbert, Arizona, I think it might be.
I don't think so.
Or Princeton, Minnesota.
There you go.
Well, okay, you got us beat.
We have more pizza places than we do people. It's not quite true, but it feels true.
More slices of pepperoni than actual people.
Our population's like 7,000, and we have 13 places to get pizza. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous.
Wow.
All right.
That's a lot of pizza you guys eat over there.
Right?
Better be good pizza. That's all I'm saying. And as a New Yorker, I'm going to be judgy. So let's just leave that, because I can get judgy very quickly.
I'm pretty judgy about the food around here, and you gotta drive. The food is not good.
Do you fold your pizza?
You're supposed to fold your pizza.
You should.
Well, Pizza Hut is a big New Yorker. That's the closest we get to it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me wipe away these tears of pain.
We have 13 places to get pizza. That doesn't mean they're good.
That's right. That's right.
People rave about like the burgers and club sandwiches and stuff at the local bars and whatever. That is like the closest we get to a sit-down restaurant is a bar.
Okay.
They all taste the same. They're all the same frozen patties and frozen whatever from the same place. And it's all, it's boring. Who cares? Who cares?
Thank God for the internet.
Everybody's like, it's so good. It's so good. There's a place. Oh, my God. And there's people in this town that are like, oh, that place is the best. And you're smoking crack, people.
It's like, you don't get out often, do you? See, they haven't found their tribe.
That's true.
But there's Facebook groups for that, though, too. Now, I'm
for liking bad food.
Way to steer us back in line here.
Where I actually live now, there's a lot of East Coasters and a lot of folks from Chicago that live in this part of the desert that I like to call the culinary desert. Right?
Yes.
So there's a lot of, we have some East Coast chains, I guess you'd say, chain restaurants, things like that. And it's interesting. And then that Facebook group, they like to meet. I haven't met with them yet, but they like to meet and do dinner. And then everybody can complain how it's just not like home. But that's
charming.
It is fun. Find your tribe.
So do these people wear shiny suits and drive Cadillacs?
We're talking about Arizona. No,
but
I'm not talking like we're going.
They're in witness protection, right?
I'm like, what do you think this is? Like Atlantic City, showing up in a sharkskin suit, and
yeah, but they've been relocated.
Vinny Bag of Donuts is over there going, hey,
renamed.
Yeah, right.
His name ain't Vinny no more. Now it's Jim.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Jim Johnson. That's it. Been a Jim Johnson my whole life. Yeah, but seriously, it's interesting. They all, where can I find the I need a deli. Anybody got good cold cuts around here?
Now,
Yeah.
if I had a mental picture, which I don't, this would be my mental picture of your surroundings all the time now. Just a bunch of witness protection. Like,
pretty much. I never thought about it that way, but I will now. Yeah.
People hanging
the
out like,
Sausage King
hey,
of Chicago.
I got to go get the papers.
Make sure there's
You coming over for the barbecue later? Come on.
Let's do it. Forget about it. Yeah.
You bring the plates.
I'm not allowed to have, cutlery anymore.
Yeah.
Look, all I need you to do is bring some cheese. Just a big block of cheese.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But it is important to find people. It's important to find people that you can connect with, right? And talk about the things, whether it's food or, in our case, voiceover, and find...
Or witness protection. Oh, you're not supposed to talk about that.
Shh. God, dude. Come on.
Sorry.
Leave it for the show notes. But the idea that the more people you can connect with should hopefully, take out some of the, I don't want to use the word anxiety, maybe the mystery of voiceover. Hey, who's your agent? Are they good? People talk.
Sure. Yeah.
Coaches, and finding your tribe.
And especially because it's such a disconnected, sort of lonely thing, right? We're all sitting at home in our booths.
Right?
Our booths.
Yes.
I'm restraining the way I want to say it.
The two boots.
Right? 2 boots.
Yeah. Feel free to follow us anyway. You can be in our
home in our
tribe.
booths, and we're doing our auditions, and occasionally we book stuff, and then we get to talk to somebody, but they're telling us to do it different, or
right,
we suck, or whatever. Hopefully, when you book something, they don't tell you suck.
That's usually the opposite.
No,
usually means
that's just
you did
my
pretty
experience.
good. You did. Boy.
But yeah, so having people you can talk to, commiserate with on the bad days.
Right.
Talk each other off ledges when you're over it.
Thanks again.
Like, I'm going to give up. No, don't give up.
I'm selling it all.
Far.
Right.
Right.
I don't want this. I don't want that. I don't need
Not
it anymore.
Not doing this no more.
So stupid. Yeah.
I just need this chair and this paddle game. And that's all I need. And the dog. I don't need the dog.
Now, see, those movie references I get. I got that one.
That's just all of mine you don't get. Okay.
That's fine. It's okay.
No, it's fine.
What did you just call me?
It's fine.
Wow. Yet I consider you guys part of my tribe, aren't you? Lucky.
We are lucky.
Aren't you lucky?
I know.
See, and the other thing that's good about having the people, the peeps, like yous guys.
Yes.
Easter's coming, speaking of peeps.
Yes. Peeps are like the Easter version of...
Halloween candy corn?
Yes,
yeah, there we go.
you.
Candy corn.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, peeps are the Easter version of candy corn. They're everywhere, but nobody wants them. Ugh, yucky. Although I would say that candy corn is still worse than peeps. Peeps are basically just a marshmallow.
No, they make like sriracha flavor and
Oh, I know they make weird flavored ones, but...
No.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of weird flavors.
They make Dr. Pepper ones.
Still,
anyway.
Pass.
Not a fan.
The other benefit to peeps, people like you guys, is accountability. Somebody to keep you honest. Make sure
no one's keeping me honest.
Yeah, well.
Hey, if somebody wants to reschedule something.
Yeah.
Make sure you're not trying to reschedule stuff at the last minute.
Yep. For real.
Yeah,
no, I appreciate that. It's true.
It's true. Happen.
Because that can happen so easily, right? That you just get derailed and it's like, no, wait, we said.
If you're doing it on your own, it's easy to let the negative thoughts take over and let the imposter syndrome talk you out of it. And to go, no, I'm not feeling it today. And then you do no auditions. And then a day becomes 2, and then 3, and then a week, and then a month. And next thing you know, 6 months have gone by and you've done 2 auditions.
And now you're selling your equipment.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Because this doesn't work.
This doesn't work.
Yep.
I haven't booked anything in a year. Well, dude, you did 5 auditions in the past 8 months.
Right.
You got to be
What did you
real
think was going
good.
to happen?
Yeah, you got to be real good to book 1 out of 5.
Yeah.
That's true. Very true.
Yeah. And if you're only doing that, then you become real good at making excuses for why you're not doing it. I'm too busy, or I got the day job. I get to take all my time. Nah. Meh. That's what I give you for that. Meh. That's a BS excuse.
And every once in a while, there's an expletive in the text as well. And they're like, oops.
Probably a lot of them.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably.
Anybody that knows me knows that I'm holding back a lot on this podcast.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
But no, it's true. It's really, yeah. I tried to reschedule this last minute because I was busy doing other stuff. I'm trying to pack for a trip, and there's so many reasons, but it's unfair, right? Because there's 3 of us. It's not just my schedule; it's your schedule, is what you're setting, time aside for, and
different time zones.
Well, and not just us, even like our families too. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and let's not forget our fans. They're waiting for this.
I mean,
honestly, that was the only reason I had any issue with rescheduling last minute, was because we had already kind of scheduled the day around the time we'd already set.
Yep.
And, they were headed out the door to go do something. And I'm like,
yeah. No. So, but that's why it's important to have people that you can work with and understand that too, right? Like pull them back in. It's like, nope, we're going to do it. So,
I suggest you find one person and start there, whether it's a YouTube channel that you follow, whether it's Mark Scott, whether it's, anybody else that does a podcast. Find someone that you can relate to. If you're young, you're gonna stick with someone younger, unless you want to follow someone older because you're looking for someone who's been in the industry longer. But find out who follows them. And eventually your group will appear. That's my point. Yeah. That's kind of how I found you guys.
Yeah. And if you can get together in person, that just kind of expedites everything.
Oh, yeah.
And especially if you've made a connection prior to that. Like we all connected online before we met in person. So we kind of knew each other a little bit. And then we hung out at a conference, at the bar at the conference.
Well, yeah.
Hence the name, the VO Bar.
Yeah.
Podcast.
And much talking and whatnot happened, and
libations.
Here we are.
Libations.
Well, that's a given.
Yes. But it was very interesting that that's what needed to happen for this podcast to happen. Because Will and I talked about over a year about it until we met up again. And it's
at the bar.
At the bar.
Weird.
And, it was weird.
Yep. We talked about it at the bar. Like, we got to start a podcast. And then it was every couple weeks from that point on. So, podcast?
Podcast. Yep.
And then finally, a year later,
now there's a text chain
we were talking about it again, and then there was Al.
Yep.
And he joined in the conversation. We said, well, there we go. That was our missing piece.
Yep.
Al was the
looking
missing
for
link.
a tribe.
See?
And we adopted Al.
You ended up with
and he regrets it every day.
Human.
I was adopted.
It was perfect. It was perfect. Because now we've been consistent.
Or are we just fostering him? I haven't figured that out yet.
Fostering, yes. Yes. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
It's better than sending him back to the pound. We haven't done that, so that's good.
It's true. Yeah, I've had enough.
This is a no-kill, right?
Right. This is no-kill.
No. No, it's not.
Dang.
Oh, my.
Oh, man. Compassionate euthanasia. Wow.
Sorry, Al. Well, you had a good run.
You moving to Asia?
No. Ay, ay, ay.
You just like
Ladies
me
and
'cause
gentlemen,
I'm
welcome to the derailment.
Yes.
I mean, it happens often, really.
Yeah.
But see, when you have accountability and it's the 3 of us, somebody has to steer us back into the water.
Yeah. So the other thing I think that's really cool about especially voiceover, because I'm sure it happens with regular acting, but probably not nearly as much, is that your network often becomes a source of jobs. And peers, not just like, oh, I'm connected to this casting director and this coach and this whatever. No, like your peers. Because what'll happen is a job will come in and you go, oh, that's not for me, but this is for Al. Or, there's a female part. Oh, this would be perfect for Victoria, And so we can either pass it on to each other or recommend each other. That happens all the time.
A lot.
But I don't think it happens as much in other types of acting, stage or film or anything. I mean, I'm sure it does a little bit.
Input, Victoria?
I mean, one of the acting groups I was in, we actually created our own stuff because we wanted to play certain roles. So, but that's a little bit different. We're talking about actual opportunities that come out from different sources that we can then share if it's allowed. Because a lot of times it's like, don't talk to others about
Sure.
this casting spec or anything. But sometimes they're looking for legit, like, hey, we're putting out a wide net and they want recommendations. So I do think that is unique to voice acting specifically. And what's really interesting is I actually had a part, I have two parts, only one's been announced so far, in a video game. And a couple weeks later, Will, you are also part of things too, weeks apart. So it's kind of interesting that way. Yeah.
It's such a small world.
It's like, oh my goodness. But it was one of those things that I had auditioned for that particular production house for a while. After a while, you start going, do they even listen?
They don't like me.
Are they just like, no? Like I say, hi.
I recognize that name.
Right?
No.
Victoria.
Yeah. Swipe left.
No. It's a complete, just not going to happen. And, it had been a good, few years.
Oh, wow.
I have auditioned for a lot of things from them. Yeah. So it goes to show it's one of those, that's what this industry is. It's just being persistent and not giving up that pursuit.
So what other benefits do we have of networking and building our tribe? Obviously there's recommendations of coaches and workshops and rosters and stuff.
Sure. Oh, yeah, and
classes,
conferences to
technique.
attend.
Yeah, conferences.
Because
sharing
honestly,
techniques. Yeah, I suppose to a point.
When we can, when we're all able to go to the same conference again, that's a lot of fun. And, you meet other people.
Yeah, because conferences, they can be scary if you're by yourself.
They are. And I mean, I've gone
It's
to them.
a lot easier if you've got even just one person that you know.
Sure.
Yep.
Because the first couple that I went to, I didn't know anybody.
Right. I mean, same.
Well, you guys, I knew from online. But then I went to, One Voice, or we all went to the Sovas conference.
Mm-hmm.
And so I knew you guys. And then I went to VO Atlanta, and I didn't know anybody. Recognized a couple people from LA, I suppose, but I didn't know anybody. So I was kind of just on my own, which was very interesting because it was a completely different experience this year. So my first time was last year. And then this year, I knew way more people.
And they sold out too. So it was like 1,000 people that were there,
well,
right?
It sold out both years, yeah.
And see, to me, personally, that's kind of if I'm completely honest, it's a little bit of a drawback. 1,000 people.
Too many people?
That's too many. For me.
It doesn't feel like it, though.
Yeah?
I think probably for a couple of reasons. So one, they don't all fit in the hotel.
Okay.
Because there aren't that many rooms, but the Delta hub being there, Delta takes 500 rooms or something. So there's only a couple hundred rooms available in that hotel.
Okay.
So
there's not 1,000 people walking in the lobby.
Not all at the same time. So half the people are staying at, 4 or 5 other hotels.
Sure.
Okay.
And then, there's probably 8 or 10 or more different rooms of sessions going on.
Mm-hmm.
So people get spread all over the place. So it doesn't feel like you're, going to suffocate in a sea of people.
Right. Okay.
And even in the after party and stuff, not everybody goes. So you get, I don't know, 500 or 600 maybe.
My first conference was online. By the time I was like, you know what, maybe I should try it out. So I did. It was called eVocation, capital VO, which makes sense. And that was really about the business side of it. And they were sharing documents for the business side, like how to, if you didn't have something like voiceover view or some sort of CRM to manage that, they had spreadsheets. Everybody was kind of sharing that. So sharing those resources, to me, that was invaluable, especially kind of early on in doing this. But I didn't know anybody, right? I was like, all right. But then there was somebody, when you're scrolling through the Zoom a gallery and I was like, oh, wait, I know that name. And then, you might start like a quick chat on the side, or I knew them through Facebook and we're talking through Messenger while the conference is going on. So that was interesting. So when they finally got to in-person and I went to my very first in-person conference, that was literally last year, that I met all of those people for the very first time. I had seen
And
them
now
online.
we can't get rid of you.
I know. Now I'm just here. But I didn't do other than Sovas, and I did their online. They still do an online version as well. But there's so many different conferences to go to, and I'm trying to be a little bit more selective with just because of time. It's balancing the family and the responsibilities I have, and but I find them hugely beneficial. And I know there's some people that just don't like them. I do like them. I wish, but I just can't do all of them.
Well, it's a financial commitment for sure.
It is, but it's also a time commitment. And not for nothing, we have a lot of special needs pets, and I have a teenage boy who's very into baseball. And, that's going to be my priority, is that. So it's hard to balance that. And my husband travels a lot for his job. So I can't get away as easily at this point.
Sure.
But when I do, I do. So, and that was great because when we were out in Los Angeles this past December, the three of us, getting together not just for certain sessions, but also afterwards, we were able to go and grab things to eat and, get an Uber to take us that, places and do, carpool karaoke. It was great.
Well, we had we had to get together
Havana staycations.
Yes.
Yes. To plan this professional podcast we had here. I mean, these kind of things take time.
Oh, yeah. We plan
lots and lots
every
of planning.
episode
so much planning.
To the most minute detail.
Oh, if it's not done right, we're not doing it.
I think that might be backwards. If it's done right, we're not doing it. So just to put things in perspective for you in terms of conferences. So as a software engineer, I've gone to conferences, and I just pulled up stats of one of the last ones that I went to, which was a while ago. It was 2012. There were over 3,100 people in attendance compared to the 1,000 that were at View Atlanta.
Too many people.
Yeah. So
that's too people.
View Atlanta's not small by any means, but there are conferences in other industries that make it look super tiny and insignificant.
Okay.
But there's so much going on across different tracks of learning and different, there's 10 or 15 different rooms with something going on all the time that it doesn't feel claustrophobic or, as packed as it is. So it's difficult to spend time with any, one or two people unless you're all doing the same thing, just because there's so much going on and so many people and, you want to say hi to everybody and whatever, but there's not time.
What about One Voice? Is that just as large or?
No, it's about half the size.
Oh,
so the best way I can explain it is One Voice is basically View Atlanta Light. It feels very similar in terms of like the programming and the style of everything and whatever.
But they also do awards at that one?
There is also an awards, yes.
But not View Atlanta, correct?
Not View Atlanta.
Okay.
Correct. So
which one's in Vegas? Is that Wovo?
I think
believe
so.
It used to be.
Okay. That sounds like trouble.
Probably, yeah.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
I mean, Vegas in general sounds like trouble.
It does, but
well, I wouldn't go that far.
Only because they took all your money and you can't afford to go that far.
That's true.
Yeah.
Either that or his
I'm still allowed to
photo
go.
is, are you allowed to? I was going to,
Not kicked out yet.
Hang on, this guy looks familiar.
Yeah, no, they like him because he gives them money.
High roller.
Yes.
Right.
When you show up in the sparkly boots, they're like, okay, come on in.
This
Al,
guy
we got
must
your
be,
table.
Yeah. He must be somebody.
It's when you leave with their money, they don't want you back anymore.
Yeah.
If you leave money there, they're, come on back.
Come on in. We'll even comp your room.
If you want a steak, we'll give you a steak.
We don't need you to pay us at the hotel. Just pay us at the casino.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Just go downstairs. Go to the floor. Have fun.
You can enjoy
Here's $100
yourself.
on us.
Right?
Hey, thanks.
No windows? Wait, what time is it? Huh?
Right.
I'll have another beverage, please.
Oh my God. The number of times that I've walked out of a casino after being there at night and it's like, oh my God, it's like 10 a.m. How did that happen?
Yes.
Oh, it's, that's happened like twice.
Just in the number of times, I'm like, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like I gamble all the time. It's been a long time. I haven't been to the casino in a long time.
Reminds me of the 70s going out to discos.
Oh, there
You
you go.
just walk out with the sunglasses on.
Let's go!
Find somebody with similar likes. Find somebody that you feel you can learn something with or from. And introduce yourself. We seem scary, but we're not.
I would actually say the same thing. Find somebody who, and they don't have to be at the same professional level. If it's
Right.
somebody you want to learn from, I think that's actually helpful if you find somebody at a different stage. Maybe
Sure, a mentor.
Or maybe you're mentoring someone. I
Mhm.
still think that can be a helpful relationship both ways. It's not just one way. But yeah, I think just if you try to do it alone, it does feel very lonely as I sit in this, 4x4 room or whatever it is. It's important to find your people.
Side note, for those that are the ones being followed and approached, if someone comes and wants to learn from you, don't be a dick.
Oh, God, yeah.
Indeed.
I can understand people getting frustrated being asked the same question over and over and over again, especially if it's something that you can easily find with Google. But remember that you were there once, too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And how hard is it to say, this is information you can easily find on Google, but check out this link or that link or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And if you're given the same answer and over again, just stick it in a text document or something so you can copy paste it. It's not rocket science.
Yeah.
This isn't difficult. And you giving somebody some encouraging words or a little bit of help at some point early on could dramatically change the trajectory of their life.
Absolutely.
And, as somebody who experienced that in a negative way, I do whatever I can to make sure nobody else does.
Absolutely.
I understand that. Same thing, because I think we all this sounds very kumbaya, oh my goodness, but it's true. I think everybody needs a little bit of help. And if you try to do this in a vacuum, it's that more difficult. So just be nice. It doesn't hurt to be kind. It doesn't cost you to be kind.
Like Jen Henry says, don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that applies just in general.
In general,
life, really.
right? Just in general. Don't.
Yeah.
Just don't be a dick.
Because you know what? That person who maybe dropped out of being a voice actor maybe decided they wanted to go into casting.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what you just did?
You burnt that bridge before it was even built.
Right.
Yeah.
So you just never know. And I have to remind myself that even when I'm driving down the highway and someone drives like they just have no freaking clue how to do it.
Oh, no,
And I have
those
to go,
people deserve no
do,
leniency.
But
Those people are idiots and they can go away.
If
you don't know how to drive, get out of my way.
Yeah, but if I'm headed someplace for, an in-person audition, and we happen to be driving the same way, I don't want to see them go into the same parking lot. All right. Good stuff. Find your tribe.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Just-